Hey, my name is Josh, and this is my family's farm in Clear Spring, Maryland. If you've ever heard of Whitetail Ski Resort, that is like right over the mountain there, but we are in Western Maryland, and my family has been farming this land for 4 generations. So we've been farming in Clear Spring for 7 generations, but my great-grandfather bought this farm in the 1940s, and I am the 4th generation here. Whenever I got out of school, there wasn't a lot of income here on the farm, but I knew that I didn't want to work for somebody, and I wanted to try to figure out how could I make it work on the family farm. And so we had this idea of making non-GMO animal feeds and offering them for sale. Now we raise pigs and sheep here, and we had the equipment to grind and mix feeds for our own animals. We grew the grain, right? So we had the grain sourcing wasn't an issue, but the rest was not developed yet. So we said, what if we made non-GMO feeds and offered them to folks out there who wanted a local grown feed? So in the beginning, we started real basic. I mean, we offered a layer mash and a hog mash, a non-GMO, of course. We hand tied the bags with baler twine and, wrote on them with Sharpie what kind of feed it was. All of our feed was and actually still is made over here in the barn. We have a tractor powered PTO grinder mixer that we mixed all of our feeds with, and we just started with that, and then customers started asking for different things. I remember when we started making a scratch feed for chickens, and then in about 2018 we had this customer that was interested in a feed with oregano, and this customer actually was buying the feed from us and offering it for sale elsewhere. And it got me thinking. I was like, you know what, if this customer is buying non-GMO animal feeds from us and then offering them for sale, I bet there are other folks or other stores out there that would probably do the same thing. So by this point, customers are coming here to our on-farm feed store, and I'm building relationships with these folks and talking to them about their animal feeds. And I kind of figure out that there's not a lot of high quality feeds out there, especially in the big box stores. So it got us thinking, what can we put in our feed to make it better? What are people looking for that they can't find in their animal feeds? And can we do that work for them? So the first thing that we started with our premium feed line was that we're actually cracking the grains and taking the powder out. A lot of backyard chickens especially don't like mashed powdered feeds, and so we figured out how we could crack these grains, separate the powder, and offer almost like a birdseed type scratch feed product. Then we got to thinking, I mentioned the oregano. What else can we put in there? We were working with a nutritionist at this point, and we came up with a list of 17 different herbs and essential oils that we're adding to all of our Wholesome Harvest feeds. So we're adding the oregano, cayenne pepper, we're putting garlic in there, peppermint, the whole list is on our website. But these are all things that are obviously natural health supplements. Kelp is another thing we're adding. Kelp is a natural mineral source that you'll find has vitamins and minerals that maybe aren't in some synthetic minerals. So we go ahead and add this into our feeds. Our feeds are omega-3 enriched with flax oil. Flax oil is also good for feather conditioning and coat conditioning. It also helps keep the dust down in the feed, so we put that in there. We put DE in there, which is a source of, which is known as a natural dewormer. And then there's just oyster shells in our layer feeds. We just, whatever we can do to put in our feeds to make them better, we're gonna go ahead and put it in there. All right, so we had our rations designed, but obviously we can't offer our feeds for sale as Ernst Grains feeds. That's just lame. You got to have a cool name to sell in a feed store, right? So we branded, we came out with these real pretty high-end feed bags to kind of try to represent what is the feed actually is on the outside, right? Maybe my effort at marketing. And we made a sales pitch. There was actually a local agronomist that knew me and my family from my dad's job, and he introduced us to a manager at a Southern States down in Loudoun County. They agreed to take our products on in 2019, and that was the first feed store that we started selling at. Since then, we have multiple stores that carry our products, and we actually got into e-commerce in 2020. And so at this point, things are growing. The feed is selling. I'm nervous. I'm like, is this gonna work? Do people gonna support what we're after? And a couple years into it, we've kind of learned that customers are happy with our products, and the Wholesome Harvest feeds are a success. So unlike most companies out there, we are unique because we are vertically integrated. So the majority of the grains in our feeds we actually grow here on our farm. We picked up additional acreage this year for our non-GMO crop production. If you know anybody who wants to rent some ground, let me know. But no, so we grow most of the ingredients. And like I said, we mix all of our feeds with a tractor-powered feed mixer. And when you are the manufacturer of your own product and you grow, it can become really challenging if you don't have the right infrastructure. So behind me is what has been the last, I don't know, 2-3 years of my life. And that is focusing on installing equipment that can make it so we can keep up with production. So none of this was here 2 years ago. We actually bought almost all of that used. Believe it or not, those grain bins were built in the 60s. I found them on Facebook Marketplace in Indiana. Me and the boys went out west, tore them down, hauled them in here. The grain tower and the drop pipe also came out of the west, other Facebook Marketplace finds. But we've been, working on buying used equipment, hauling it in here, rebuilding it, and putting the infrastructure into place that supports the growth of our business. So we want to be the sole manufacturer of our products. We're not interested in co-packing or paying somebody else to do it for us. We want to be the guys who have complete control over the quality, and that includes having the equipment to make everything ourselves. So it's been a wild ride. I'm really, really grateful for all of the customers out there that are looking for non-GMO product, a local grown product. It makes it so a family farm like us here in Clear Spring, Maryland can thrive in a time when it's hard for farmers to survive. So thank you for listening to our story, and just thank you for supporting what we do.